Real talk, fam. A whole lot of us are exactly one tire. Real talk, fam. Real talk, fam. A whole lot of us are just exactly one flat tire away from a full blown crisis. The car breaks down, the fridge goes out, somebody gets sick, and suddenly we're putting groceries on our credit cards and and suddenly we're putting our groceries on our credit cards and saying a prayer. If that's you, don't be embarrassed, honey. Be here because today we're going to fix it. I am going to show you how to build your emergency fund from scratch. Even if you're broke, even if you're scared, even if you've never saved a single dime in your life. 3 steps. Let's go. Oh, and real quick, I am not a financial advisor, okay? I'm just a woman who learned this the hard way and wants to help you succeed. And listen, this isn't just money talk. And listen, this isn't just money talk, fam. The Bible says it plainly in Proverbs 10:5. He who gathers in the summer is a wise son, but he who sleeps through the harvest will bring shame. Translation, you build your translation, you build your storehouse while the sun is still shining. An emergency fund is you gathering in the summer. So let's get started. Problem number one. Most folks think that an emergency fund means thousands of dollars in the bank. So they look at their account and see it ain't happening. And then they do nothing. So they look at their account and see it ain't happening and do nothing. That overwhelm right there, that overwhelm right there, that is the enemy. Solution, start stupid small. Your first goal is not 6 months of expenses. Your first goal is $500. And if $500 feels like a whole mountain, then your goal is $25. I'm dead serious. The month, the number, the number matters way less than starting. A fund with $50 beats a fund that lives in your imagination every single time. A fund with $50 beats a fund with $50 beats a fund within your imagination every single time. Funny truth. The perfect plan you never start is worth exactly zero. That's broke math, but it's true. Funny truth. The perfect plan you never start is a funny truth. The perfect plan that you never start is a worth funny truth. The perfect plan that you never start is worth exactly zero. That's broke math, but it's true. Point two, pay yourself first. Now, I already heard you, but I don't have anything left to save. Now, I hear what you're thinking, but I don't have anything left over to save. I hear you, honey. So here's the trick. You don't have to save what's left over. There is, so here's the trick. You don't have to save what's left over. There is never anything left over. You pay yourself first. The day money hits your account, you move a little bit out before the bills, before the wants, before it all disappears. Before the bills, before the wants, before it all disappears. Before the bills, before the wants, before it all disappears. Even $10. Automate it so you don't have to think of automate it so you don't have to think about it and you don't have to feel it. Then go find one or two leaks that just then go find one or two leaks. You know, that subscription that you forgot you had, eating out 4 times a week. Plug one leak and send that money straight to your fund. Pro tip. Got stuff you don't use? Sell it. That junk in your closet, that junk in your closet, that that junk in your closet is someone else's treasure and your starter fund. Turn your clutter into the cushion. Turn your clutter into cushion. Point 3, protect it. Step 3, and this is where people trip up. They build a little fund and leave it sitting right where they build up a little fund and leave it sitting right there in their checking, right next to their spending money. And honey, that money doesn't stand a chance, okay? By Friday, it is gone, all right? Solution, separate it, okay? Open up different savings accounts. A high yield savings account if you can. So a little grows, a high yield savings account if you can. So the little grows while it's just sitting there. And keep it somewhere you don't see it every day. And keep it somewhere you don't see it every time you log in. Out of sight, out of reach, out of temptation. Keep a little bit of cash at home as well. Remember, if the power is out and cards don't work, you still want to be able to reach your money. And last thing, decide right now what an emergency actually is. An emergency is the car, the doctor, keeping the lights on, a sale at Target. Oh, I'm sorry, we're boycotting. A sale at Ross, a sale at Target, a sale at Target. Oh, my bad, we're boycotting. A sale at Ross does not count as an emergency. A sale at Target, oh, my bad, we're boycotting. A sale at Ross does not constitute an emergency. Okay? I didn't have to learn that much. A sale at Ross does not constitute an emergency. Okay? Real talk. Name the account. Call it peace. Call it don't touch. Call it win stuff. Call it freedom. Something that reminds you why it's there, and something that reminds you why it's there the second you get tempted. The hardest time I learned this. What's the hardest time that I had to learn? What was the hard time that taught me this lesson? College. Out of state tuition, no scholarship. So I worked 3 jobs while going to school full time. I got 3 jobs, man. I was part Jamaican child. But that pace caught up with me. I got sick. And I did not plan for getting sick, okay? Hourly pay, no savings, robbing Peter to pay Paul for months. God did send people my way to help me, though. One of my supervisors, my now husband, and some of my line sisters. And I'm grateful to this day for them. But fam, I sure wish I had planned a little bit better. So don't be me. But fam, I sure wish I had planned a little bit better. So don't be me, okay? Build the cushion before you actually need it. All right, let's recap. Start stupid small. Even $25 counts. Pay yourself on. Okay, so let's recap. Start stupid small. Even $25 counts. Okay. Pay yourself first on automatic. You don't want to have to think about that. Plug a leak and sell some stuff. Keep it separate with a little cash at home. And know what a real emergency is. Here's the truth, guys. The word says the borrower is slave to the lender. And an emergency fund is one of the first ways you start buying your freedom back. The word says a borrower is slave to the lender. And an emergency fund is one of the first ways you can start buying your freedom back. It is not about getting rich. It is not about panicking when life happens. It's not about getting rich. It's about not panicking when life happens, because life will happen. Preparation is not about fear. It's about confidence. And a few $100s you set aside on purpose, that's peace you can bank on. Start today, start small, and start scared if you have to. Just start. Stay ready, stay smart, stay calm, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, if you're waiting until you can save a real amount of money before you start an emergency fund, fam, you're going to be waiting forever. Let me free you from that today. Here's the lie that keeps us broke: that an emergency fund has to be thousands of dollars. So we look at our account, see that it's not happening, and save nothing. Kill that thought today. Your first goal is not 6 months of expenses. Your first goal is $500. And if $500 feels like a mountain, your goal is $25. I'm serious. And a fund with $50 beats a fund that lives in your imagination any day. Funny truth. The perfect plan you never start is worth exactly zero. That's broke math, but it's true. The Bible calls it gathering in your summer. Proverbs 10:5. So gather when the sun is still shining, fam. Start stupid small. Start stupid. Start stupid. Start stupid small, fam. Just start. Start stupid small, hun. Just start. But I don't have anything left to save. But I don't have anything left over to save. Fam, I'm about to fix that sentence for you forever. Here's why there's never anything left over. Because you're trying to save what's left. And life always makes sure that there's nothing left. And life always makes sure that there's nothing left. So flip it. You pay yourself first. The day money hits your account, you have a little bit out of it. The day that money hits your account, you move a little bit out of it before you pay your bills, before the wants, and before it can all vanish. Even $10, and automate it. Set it and forget it. So you never have to feel it or fight yourself over it. Real talk. You'll budget around whatever left you have. Real talk. You'll budget around whatever's left just fine. You always do. You always do. So take your piece from the top. Pay yourself first. Every time. Stay ready. Stay smart. Stay calm. So you started your emergency fund. Good. But if you're keeping it here, it's already in danger. Molly, you in danger, girl. Let me show you. Most people build a little fund and leave it in their checking account. Then next, most people build a little fund and then leave it in their checking account. Look, most people build a little fund and leave it sitting in their checking account, right next to their spending account. And ugh, most people, come on, Tamisha, you got it. Most people build a little fund and leave it sitting right there in their checking, right next to their spending money. And honey, that money doesn't stand a chance, okay? It's gone by Friday, and you won't even remember on what you spent it on. So separate it. Open a different savings account. High yield if you can, so it earns a little while it's sitting there. Keep it somewhere you don't see it every time you log in. Out of sight, out of reach, and out of temptation. Bonus skill. Keep a little of it as cash at home too. If the power's out, if the power goes out and the credit card machines don't work, you still want to be able to reach your money. Separate it, protect it. That's the move. Okay, you want to start an emergency fund, but you just don't have the money. Okay, walk through your house with me real quick, fam. Okay, walk through your house with me real quick, fam. You're sitting on your starter fund and you don't even know it. That full closet of clothes that you don't wear, that gadget you brought one time, that gadget you bought one time, the furniture in the garage, the kid stuff that they outgrew 3 years ago. That's not clutter, honey. That's cash. Okay? Sell it. Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, yard sale, whatever it takes. Every dollar goes straight into your fund. Pro tip, do a 10-item challenge. This pro tip, do a 10-item challenge this weekend. Sell 10 items that you don't use. Watch your fund go from zero to something without touching your paycheck. Turn your clutter into your cushion. Go look. Okay. Woosah. Okay, fam. Repeat after me. A sale is not an emergency. Let me explain before you raid that. Let me explain before you raid that fund, okay? So you built your emergency plan. So you built your emergency fund, and you know what? I'm proud of you. Now, here's where folks blow it. They borrow, they borrow from it for stuff that is not an emergency. A sale, a trip, a treat yourself Tuesday. So decide right now, while you're calm, what actually counts. An emergency, here's some examples. An emergency is the car, a doctor's bill, keeping the lights on, keeping food on the table, keeping gas in the car. That's it. A cute bag? No, ma'am. A deal you can't pass up? No, sir. That is not an emergency, okay? That's a want. That is a want wearing an emergency costume. Funny truth. The fun only works if you let it be boring. Boring is the whole point. Protect your peace. Don't touch it for foolishness. Okay, this one trick actually made me stop rating my savings. Okay, it's free and it takes 30 seconds. Most of us have a savings named savings. Okay, boring, forgettable, easy to drain, right? So rename it. Give it a name that reminds you of why it is even in existence. Call it peace. Call it don't touch. Call it win stuff. Call it freedom. Call it my family safety. Now, when you try to transfer money out for something silly, you don't see savings, you see peace. And honey, it is a whole heart. And honey, it is a whole lot harder to steal from your peace. Real talk. Money is so emotional. So use a little emotion to protect it. Go name your account right now. I'll wait. Okay, there is a scripture that changed how I see money completely. Real talk, fam. Proverbs says it plainly. The borrower is slave to the lender. And when I really sat with that, I realized that every dollar I owed was a piece of me that belonged to somebody else. That's what the whole money pillar is about. Not getting rich, getting free. Ooh, amazing stuff. An emergency an emergency fund is one of the ways in which you start buying your freedom back. An emergency fund is one of the ways in which you start buying your freedom back. So the next time life happens, you reach for your own money instead of the credit card and say a prayer. So the next time life happens, you reach for your own money instead of a credit card and a prayer. This isn't about fear, it's about confidence. And a few $100s set aside on purpose is peace you can bank on. Stay ready, stay calm, stay ready, stay smart, and stay calm. And start getting free. Y'all want to know what y'all want to know how I learned the importance of keeping an emergency fund? The hard way, fam. Let me tell you, college, out of state tuition, no scholarship. So I had to work 3 jobs while going to school full time. I got 3 jobs, man. I got 3 jobs, man. And I was like part Jamaican for real. But that pace finally caught up with me and I got sick. I had it and I ain't planned for sick. And I hadn't planned for sick. Okay. Hourly pay, no savings, robbing Peter to pay Paul for months just to catch up. Luckily, God sent me people to help me. And luckily, God sent me people to help me. One of my supervisors, my now husband, and some line sisters chipped in to help me out. And I am grateful to each of them. And I am grateful to each of them to this day. And I am grateful to each of them to this day. But I sure wish I had planned a little better. So learn from me, honey. Build the cushion before you actually need it because life won't wait for you to be ready. Stay ready, stay smart, and stay calm. But man, I sure wish I had planned better. So learn from me, honey. Build the ki- So learn from me, honey. Build your cushion before you actually need it. Because life does not rate. Mhm. So learn from me, honey. Build your cushion before you actually need it. Because life doesn't wait for you to get ready. So stay ready, stay smart, and stay calm.